It's time for the My Sims Kingdom review for the Wii. This is my 125th review, hooray! And to celebrate, I created a new intro for my reviews. I hope you enjoyed, and I'd once again like to say thank you to all my subscribers. You guys and gals are awesome, so let's get to the game. Sims games, specifically EA Sims games, just don't strike my interest that much. I admit, I loved playing SimTown back in the 90s, but that's really the only one, and I haven't played any kind of Sims game until now, so let's see how this game turned out. When you first start, you get to create your sim. It's a simple editor with the standard possibilities of outfits and hairdos, but I thought it was kind of cool that you could adjust your sim's voice pitch. Now they still speak in Simlish, which I'm not a fan of, and actually I'm not really a fan of most game languages, but it's not terrible, like if you compare it to... Yeah, this one's better. The story is about how a king's kingdom is in despair due to a lack of special people called Wandaliers. These people helped keep the kingdom in order, which made everyone happy. So to help restore the kingdom back to what it once was, the king appoints you as the newest and only new Wandalier and gives you a magic wand. With this wand, you'll head out to different islands of the kingdom and help people who need it. I can't help but think of this game as one long list of chores. Granted, these aren't ordinary chores, and, well, they really aren't chores, but perhaps you'll see what I mean later. The wand you're given can create things out of thin air. Well, almost. Every time you create something, your mana count will deplete by a small amount, depending on what the object is, like a very large brick which can be used as a house, or furniture or decorations for inside and outside a building. Throughout the game, you'll meet new Sims who ask you to help them build bridges, housing, gadgets, and more. To build these items, you'll need mana. To get mana, you can shake certain trees, which usually also yield fruit, rockets, musical notes, or basically anything, or you can mine for mana, which when doing so will also yield other objects and materials, or you can dig for it by searching for items with your object detector. You can also fish in the game, but fishing usually only gives you sea creatures. The objects you find help you complete scrolls. Scrolls give you access to new items you can build with your wand. Some scrolls are mandatory for you to complete, while others will give you extra objects you can create. Some quests are simple, without really any story to it, while others have more depth as to why you're helping people out. Like this guy. You're supposed to help him so he can make his world-famous pizza again by creating a sprinkler system for his tomatoes, and also helping a farmer gather her cows back into a fenced-in area so the chef can make his... forbidden cheese? Next thing you'll know, they'll be wanting... Anyway, some quests are pretty straightforward, while others will take more time to complete. One problem I had with the game is obtaining mana. The problem isn't how you obtain it, but the seemingly constant search for it. It's so frustrating almost completing a quest by creating objects when, uh-oh, I'm out of mana, guess I'd better go search for more, again! Now, like I said, you can find mana in trees, in the ground, mining for it, and even in scattered treasure chests on the island, but I spent a good amount of time searching for mana, and searching for it is just not fun. The graphics are... well, good for this game. It's supposed to be cartoonish, and you can tell the developers weren't on double overtime when making the game, but it's not bad looking. It is kind of bland, but the game isn't competing in the high graphics category. The controls are great for the most part. It can be frustrating at times when building things, but the frustration mainly comes from the camera's angle. The depth perception can be quite low at times, so it can be difficult in telling where you're about to place an item, which gets annoying fast. It was nice that you could adjust the controls, invert the camera, and switch on grid snapping to make building easier. In the upper left corner of the screen is a gauge which keeps track of your king's points. As you complete tasks throughout the game, the gauge will rise, and when it gets to the top, you'll unlock new items and areas to explore. It also keeps track of how much you've accomplished, and when it reaches the top, it will reset and give you more chances for more items and new areas. Although the game is really easy, it can be quite boring too. This is definitely a game for a young and/or casual audience. It was really difficult for me to get excited about new quests and areas to explore, because this just isn't the type of game I really like to play. The game is quite long, but for me at least, there's not enough variety. Sure, you get to pick up new scrolls, which gives you access to new stuff to create, but it's not the type of incentive that makes me want to keep playing. There is humor in the game, but it's geared toward a younger audience, I'd say between the ages of 8 to 14. My Sims Kingdom is an okay game, but because it's geared toward a different demographic, it's hard for me to really get into the game. Okay graphics, great controls, lots of items to create, the game will take a while to complete, easy for kids and or a casual audience, and kid-friendly humor. However, I feel like some would find it bland and or boring, searching for mana can be very annoying at times, and the camera can be frustrating to deal with. Now there are definitely more pros than cons, but like I said, it's just not my type of game, and it doesn't hold my interest for very long. It's not really because it's a kid's game. Heck, I had more fun with Balloon Pop than this, and Balloon Pop is definitely a kid's game. It's because the content of this game isn't what I usually like to play. However, if you're looking for a nice, limited creative game that kids or a casual audience would enjoy, I think this game is worth a play. This game gets a 3.25 out of 5 with the title of good.